We have more for your ears only. I'm Eddie Robinson.
I'm David Alpern with this quote from the news. Even if I have a computer next to me, I'll still be on my mobile device. That was Google chief executive Larry Page on the company's latest, largest all-cash deal, $12.5 billion for Motorola Mobility Holdings to enter the hot cell phone and tablet field. By contrast, Hewlett-Packard will reportedly spin off its personal computer business and spend $10 billion for business software maker in England. Now this.
That morn, if we only have love to embrace without fears, we will kiss with our eyes, we will sleep without tears.
The English version of a French song by Jacques Brel, no longer alive and well and living in Paris, sadly, but celebrated in a new collection of songs in French and of French origin by American singer and music entrepreneur Lee Lessack. The CD is called Chanteur, the French word for singer, and we're pleased to have Lessack on the line now for Your Ears Only to talk about how and why he made it, and also came to oversee sales of recordings by 100 other performers. Lee Lessack, welcome to our program.
Hello, it's great to be here.
First, remind us of some previous recordings of American songs you've made.
Well, I did a tribute album to Johnny Mercer called Too Marvelous for Words, the songs of Johnny Mercer. I did two recordings. My first two recordings were really just a compilation of Broadway and standards and some new songs by writers that I think are writing the standards of tomorrow, people like Ann Hampton Callaway and John Bacchino and David Friedman. And then I have a vocal trio called Three Men and a Baby Grand, and we did a recording. It was a live concert recording of a Rat Pack salute that we tour with.
Why an album of French songs?
I'm trying to figure that out. Brian Lane Green, who's a wonderful actor, Tony Award nominee, and a singer that tours with me with Three Men and a Baby Grand, I asked him when we were on tour last year if he had any ideas for a new show. I felt like I was ready to take on a new concert to tour with, and he came up with this idea of paying tribute to the great French songbook. And the concert that we created together is really about how the great French songbook has influenced the American singer. So how did Aznavour have an influence and an effect on Sinatra's career?
How is it that the album includes so many songs we think of as American? Autumn Leaves, Windmills of Your Mind, What Now My Love?
Well, I think that's just it. I think so many people don't realize that these songs really are French in their origin. I mean, people think that My Way, one of Frank Sinatra's biggest hits, is part of the Great American Songbook, but it's a French song called Comme d'habitude that Paul Anka at one point just rewrote English lyrics for Sinatra.
You began with a live version of this project in Paris. Was that a little more daunting than casting the CD on American waters? And what was the reaction in Paris?
It was. I was terrified. I mean, I was thrilled and terrified because, French is not my first language or my second language. What I loved about it was that I find that the standards, the French, they seem to really embrace the heritage of their music. And so they loved hearing these melodies that they're so familiar with in English. And so they embraced me. It was really, really satisfying.
For so many singers, getting a CD made at all is a pretty big project, but you have gone beyond recording your own songs to create a company, LML Music, that promotes and distributes the work of others, including Lea Salonga, Tom Wopat, Steve Ross, who we've had on this show, my late friend Nancy Lamott. How did you get the idea and the money to start your own music company at a time when the industry is going through such financial hard times because of the internet?
Well, I started the label 17 years ago when I recorded my first album, and I needed a label. And so I came up with the name of a label. I took my initials, very creative, and started this label. But what I discovered was that my marketing and business sense really got into the driver's seat. And my first recording, and I had no name value in the concert world, certainly in the recording industry, But I got good distribution, really positive reviews in Billboard and in some national magazines. And so other artists in the Broadway, cabaret, jazz world started to approach me to ask if I would distribute their recordings. And I had never thought of LML Music as anything other than a vehicle for my very first album. And so each year I would widen my vision of what the label could become. And slowly but surely it grew, and we have over 100 artists now.
How do you deal with the digital difficulties, the free downloading, the file sharing?
Look, as an independent artist, for me, certainly I would love everyone to go to iTunes and actually purchase the music. But the truth of the matter is that if someone is going to download the music, if they're going to purchase it, and then they're going to share it with someone and give it away for free, if it keeps the conversation going, it's all good. That's my feeling about it. I think that this music is it really needs to be heard, and keeping great vocals and the great American songbook alive, it's such a niche market that I don't think, if I was distributing, hip-hop and rap and top 40, then it would be different. But, our listening base is on the older side, and I don't think they're, pirating music so much.
Lee Lessack's company is LML Music, and his latest CD is Chanteur, including this.
And the world is like an apple whirling silently in space, like the circles that you find in the windmills of your mind.
And this has been For Your Ears Only.